Class 4 Chapter 12 Introduction to Customer Behavioral Processes. Characteristics that affect consumer buying behavior. According to Armstrong, consumer purchases are influenced by cultural, social, personal and psychological factors or characteristics that cannot be controlled by companies. Figure 9.0 Characteristics that affect consumer buying behavior. Cultural and social factors are defined and explained like only one group. For this reason the main theory is going to be explained taking into account this second definition. So, there are three groups of factors that can influence the consumer behavior. This process is categorized by three aspects: environmental influences, culture, social class, personal influence, family and situation, individual differences, consumer resources, motivation and involvement, knowledge, attitudes, personality, lifestyle, and demographics, and psychological processes, information processing, learning, and attitude and behavior change. Personal or individual factors. Personal factors are unique to a particular person. Some of them can be family situation, work, marital status, age, demographic, sex or the experiences in your life, and all of them can influence the decision of the purchase. It is also important to know who in the family is responsible for the decision making, because sometimes only one member in the family make the decisions, but other times the decisions can be made by consensus. Young people purchase things for different reasons than older people. Minya.p. 2002 Personal age factor. Age has been identified as an indicator of physical fitness, activity levels, interests and previous travel experience. The adolescent and the retired have considerably more time at their disposal than the middle-age group who live under a greater degree of time pressure. In addition to age, life cycle changes such as getting married and having children usually affects participation time. The type of preferred attractions is likely to be influenced by the stage in the family life cycles. Participation may increase when children leave home or when individuals retire from work. Age as a measure of physical ability may influence the preferences of tourists. Age is a discriminating demographic variable that influences holiday behavior. Middle-aged individuals would engage in different activities compared to both their younger and older counterparts. Personal factors, tourists' stage in the family life cycle. Families evolve through a certain life cycle, and the characteristics of the family at the various stages of its life cycle offer certain opportunities or exert various pressures that affect preference and purchasing behavior. Opperman, 1995. In stage I, single people have low earnings. 2. In stage 2, newly married couples are financially well endowed since both partners are likely to be working. 3. In stage 3, the arrival of children puts strain on savings and creates loss in income since at least one of the partners leaves the labor market. 4. In stage 4, some recovery in family income occurs since both partners can now rejoin the labor market. In stage V, family income is now devoted to the needs of older children. The last stages of empty nests and survivorship imply that both time and income are now available for holiday pursuits. However, other needs such as health care and social security become increasingly significant. Figure 10.0 Tourists' stages in the family life cycle. Personal factors, gender differences. There are gender differences in the interests tourists pursue while on holiday. Women and men have different holiday involvement, activity preferences, participation patterns and commitment to various holiday activities. Studies on women's leisure show that women are more cautious than men and in general prefer safer activities. Gender creates differences in preferred landscapes and scenery. One of the reasons that men and women may want different things from tourism experiences is that they are getting away from different things in their work and home environments, respectively. Swain, 1995. Personal factors, income level. Income is an essential factor in determining the demand for tourism commodities. During holidays, costs are incurred and the tourists pay for services provided at destinations. Expenditure may also be required in the form of specialized equipment for engaging in various recreational activities while at the destination or en route. Certain attractions, such as wildlife, are popular among high-income earners since they allow them to engage in luxury activities such as balloon safaris. Convenient and exclusive modes of watching wildlife are normally designed for certain tourists who are willing to pay special prices. Such arrangements include aerial wildlife viewing and exclusive clubs. Income is, therefore, likely to induce proportionately more time allocation to wildlife viewing. Personal factors, social-economic factors. Socio-economic status is indicated by the tourist's level of education and occupation. The level of education of an individual tends to influence the preference for certain holiday attractions, facilities and activities. The amount of education obtained most likely determines the nature of work and holiday activities. By widening one's horizons of interest and enjoyment, education influences the type of activities undertaken and the variety of options that can be considered. Education itself can also serve as a primary reason for travel. The more educated prefer those activities that require interpretive and expressive skills. More educated tourists tend to be more sophisticated in their tastes. They may not, however, be higher spenders. Personal factors, nationality. Nationality is described by the tourist's country of origin/residence. Japanese are seen as less social, highly interested in shopping and more satisfied with staged or set-up tourist experiences, cultural performances. The Americans and the Italians are the most social, and despite communication difficulties, the Italians are the most adept at and enthusiastic about bargaining. Yagi, 2003, suggests some defining distinctive elements for the Japanese that influence their behavior as tourists. Psychological factors. This group can be divided in different categories like motive, perception, ability and knowledge, attitudes, positive or negative feelings, or personality and lifestyle. Motive, it is the internal feeling that make the people buy a certain product in order to satisfy a necessity. This can be relationated with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs. 2. Perception, this can be relationed with different concepts like taste, smell or touch. People have a sensation when they try a certain product, this perception depending of the experiences that people had with the products and also of the knowledge. 3. Ability and knowledge, the knowledge or opinion that people have about a product can be influenced by the company. With new information or free sample, the companies can manipulate the image of a product. They can use this when they want to introduce a new product in the market and also if they want to change the image or the concept of one existing product. 4. Attitudes and feelings, people can have a positive or negative feeling about a product. This feeling can be consequence of their personal experiences or because of the interaction with other people. For example, you try a hamburger and if you have a successful experience, taste good, good price, the next time you are probably going to buy the same hamburger. Personality and lifestyle, in order to decide use or not a certain product, the personality have a large influence. It is very important for the companies to know the mind of their target market in order to influence them. It is also important to know the type of life that they prefer. It is not the same people that like natural and healthy lifestyle than people that like fast food and the city life. Social or environmental factors. Consumer wants, values or beliefs are influenced by the opinion of leaders, person's family, reference groups, social class and culture. Reference groups and opinion leaders have a large influence in the consumer's behavior. Sometimes, companies use famous people to attract consumers. For example, in the advertising of makeup they use famous celebrities, singers, actresses, in media, because famous girls makes the normal girls desire them. Social class determines to some extent, the types, quality, and quantity of products that a person buys or uses. Culture refers to the set of values, ideas, and attitudes that are accepted by a homogeneous group of people and transmitted to the next generation. Culture also determines what is acceptable with the product advertising. Culture determines what people wear, eat, reside and travel. Occasionally religious groups will influence consumers' behavior, usually because a religion may set certain standards, for example,